Hi everybody, welcome back. Part 3 of my stretch, roll and release series. This is time we're going to use the massage ball again. So grab your ball, we're going to work around the back and the pelvis. This is great for people with low back pain, pelvic pain, if you're just feeling tight around there. We're going to start in sitting, place the ball right into the side of your sacrum. So the sacrum is the triangle bit at the base of the spine. You're going to place that ball into the side towards the base of it, so in between kind of your coccyx and your left sit bone. And you're just going to start by just going into a hip twist, just rolling that knee open, hip open, and rolling out onto that massage ball. Should start to just feel a little bit of tension, maybe around where the ball is, and you're just trying to work into it. So we're just trying to release that muscle, the ligaments that are around the side of the pelvis at the back. Keeping nice and lifted through the chest, stable through the right side. Start to move it up a little bit. So just wiggle it up, maybe about 1 centimetre. And you're going to find where feels tight, okay? Where feels good for you. Shouldn't be excruciating, but it probably will feel a little bit uncomfortable. So if you can bear it, just breathe through it. Obviously shouldn't cause any of your pain or discomfort that you get. One more point, we're just going to roll it up one more time. Find where you need to be. Just a few more hip twists here. Rolling out of the hip, knee following. Last one. Okay, we're going to then walk it down onto our back. So come and lay down onto your back. The ball is going to come back in and around the left side. So, but this time we're going to start up through the top of the pelvis. So kind of the crest of the pelvis where the fleshy part of your bottom muscle is. Wedge it in around there. And again, we're going to go hip twist. But then we're going to go one hip twist, one tabletop, and then a one leg stretch, lengthen out, then back in. We're going to do 3 of these little sets in 3 different points. So hip twist, tabletop, just rolling over that ball, and then one leg stretch. Let's move it down a bit. So that's the first point. Then we'll wiggle it down. You're still staying quite close in and around the pelvis and the back of the pelvis and the sacrum. Find where you need that ball to be. Try and be as level as you can through the pelvis. So hip twist, keep right knee nice and still, tabletop, and then one leg stretch. One more in this point. And then we've got one more point here, so let's roll it down. So you're quite low now, kind of where we started in sitting when we were sitting up on it. Hip twist, tabletop, one leg stretch. Back to the center. And just take note of maybe where it feels tighter. Next time you do this, you might want to focus a little bit longer on that spot. We're tending to spend about 45 to 90 seconds on each spot, no longer than that. Good, and then lower down. Okay, now you're going to bring that ball up more into your back, okay? So now we're coming into the base of the spine. You're at the side of the knobbly bit in the spine, so you're not on the bone. You're just going to come out into where your back muscles are on the left-hand side of your low back. You're going to hold that there, and we're just going to roll our pelvis back, so just tilt it back and then release. And you'll just feel your back come in contact with the massage ball. So just do some little rocks forward and back through the pelvis, trying to just work into that ball, move it where you need to feel like you're working into it. Little tiny rocks. Then from there, you're going to take that left knee up and in. You're just going to take it in and just give it a little squeeze. Then from there, you're just going to let it straighten out and come back in. Just draw it in, give it a little squeeze, let that pressure come into the ball in the back, and then release it out. Just do a couple and then move it up, and you can move it whenever you feel you need to. So little squeeze and then release it out. Bring that thigh in and then release it out. Just maybe doing 2 or 3 on each spot. I'm just gently starting to move this up my back now. Trying again, keep relatively level through the pelvis. Might go for one more here. So I'm quite going higher now, so I'm more up around the base of my rib cage. Just working into those paraspinal muscles, most big muscles up the back that can get quite tight and cause us back pain. And then I'm just going to bring it back down again, but I'm going to brace my feet together and we're just going to do a little hip twist. So just keeping it small, you're just going to roll both knees one side to the left and then back into the center. And I'm going to start to work this up my spine. So I'm just going to do a couple of hip twists in each spot. Just trying to knead the muscles in and around the spine and creating a little bit of movement. We've got a little bit of rotation here. Gently working it up. Maybe one more. Just wiggling it up. And then just bringing that ball out. Now just take both legs out, straighten out, maybe close your eyes, and just see now how you feel one side to the other. So I definitely feel that that side we've worked on is just softened towards the mat. It's just much lower, much deeper down towards the mat. So we're going to need to do the other side. So I'm just going to turn so that you can see me, but we're going to come back up into sitting, repeat all of that on the other side. So we're going to start with that ball in and around the right side of the sacrum, that base of the spine, the triangle part at the base of the spine. And it's quite low at this first spot. And then we're just going to open the right knee out to the side and then roll it back in. So just going into a hip twist. Just lift a little out of your shoulders. You don't want to sink in. Nice and controlled and level through the pelvis. And you're just rolling that knee in and out. And we're just going to start to work it up a little bit. So just move it up after you've done a few in that spot. See where it feels good. You can obviously always work a bit longer on one side if it's particularly tighter or if that's your painful side. It's always good to release both sides because as you can feel when you laid on your back, let's move it out one more time. It does change that tension through one side, so it's good to try and make ourselves as even as possible. That's it. Okay, so from there, we're going to take that down onto our back. So we lay ourselves down. That ball is going to again just come in around, this time towards the top of the pelvis, okay? So a bit higher than we were at the last one of the sitting. And we're working still just soft tissue, we're not on bone, okay? And then we're going to go into that hip twist on the right side, keep the left knee grounded and still. Bring it back in, then bring it into a tabletop. And then straighten it out. So you can just feel the different planes of movement as you roll over that muscle. So you rotate, hip rotates out onto the ball. Then you bring that leg up into a tabletop, just feel the pelvis just roll back over onto it. Then straighten that leg out and then back in. And you can always have support under your head if you feel any discomfort in the neck. Make sure you feel comfortable wherever you are. We're going to do one more in this spot, 3 sets on each side. And then we start to just wiggle it down a bit. So we're going to move it down just maybe a centimetre or so. Find that kind of pressure on the ball, hip twist, roll it out. Tabletop and one leg stretch. And if you do have pain, discomfort in and around your pelvis and your back, then you could try doing this 3 times a week. So not on consecutive days necessarily, but just using it as maybe a mini treatment to just release tension that might be building up around there. Perfect, we're going to move it down a little bit more, come a little bit lower. Last spot here, hip twist. And it doesn't necessarily feel the same one side to the other. They're not always equal, unfortunately. Hip twist, tabletop, lengthen out. Last one. Great, okay, so from there we're going to bring it into our back. So we bring it up into the low back, so the small of the back, onto the right hand side of the spine. Then from there, we're just going to do a few pelvic tilts. So you're just going to find a spot that feels good and you're just going to rock and roll onto it. So you're just rolling the pelvis up and down here. Just little tips. Maybe move it to where you feel you want to work, where you feel tight. And then from there, we're going to find a spot that feels a bit tender. We're going to take the leg up and just pull it in a little bit, and you'll feel the pressure come down into the ball with those muscles. And then you're going to straighten that leg out. You're going to pull it in, and then you're going to straighten it out. And then you're going to move it up. So we're going to do 2 of these on each spot as we start to walk up the spine. And maybe you've got a particularly tight spot and you want to stick on that spot and just work there for that whole 45 to 90 seconds. Or maybe you're just trying to do some general release today. Pull it in, release it out. Last one. I'm quite high now around the base of my rib cage, but still to the right side of the spine. And then we're just going to take that ball so it goes back to the small of the low back. Knees now come together, hands slightly wider. And we're just going to take some little knee rolls and hip twists over to the right side with both knees together. And you're just going to work it up the spine. So you're just doing a couple on each spot. Just trying to work into those big muscles at the side of the spine. Quite often become overactive and tight. Creep it up. Again, shouldn't feel any discomfort, it just might feel a bit uncomfortable in terms of the tension. Last one. Good, and then just rolling the ball out, just taking it out, and then just straighten out through both legs. And hopefully we should feel way more even and equal now lying on our mat. So we should feel more level. You could maybe just give a little bit of a wiggle, just as if someone's putting one leg out and then the other leg out. And then just settle. And that's it. Great work, guys. So hopefully that was useful. As I said, just work in a pain-free range to see how it feels. You can use this with the foot release to start with as well. You could combine the two. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. See you soon.